Do you want to watch a movie that measures up to Harry Potter and The Hobbit? This movie measures up with Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, and there's no doubt about that. The writer to the Dune books didn't just create a book, he created an entire world. I genuinely cannot believe my mind as to what I just watched. This literally proves blockbuster films can still be massive and artistic at the exact same time. In terms of the world building, it feels alive. Arrakis feels like a real world. It feels like not only watching the movie, but you're actually there. Every single detail is as if this world was a real thing. Everything also feels ancient and lived in. Even though you are being introduced to a brand new movie, you know that this world is thousands and thousands of years old. I'm sure it's very much inspired by a lot of places on Earth now. You can very much tell that it's very much inspired by Middle Eastern cultures. In terms of Dune 1, you really do have to just kind of bear through it. And I'm not saying it's a bad movie, not at all. It's beautiful, especially as a perfect build up for Dune 2. It is the perfect amount of pacing that you need in order to build up to such a big franchise, right? I love what they did because they didn't just rush into something. They didn't just jump into it. They said, no, we're gonna make the fans wait and we're gonna build something beautiful so that when Dune 2 drops, it's going to be an even better explosion of hype. And that is exactly what happened. These are the best visuals I've seen in any movie in a very, very long time. And when I say this movie measures up to Harry Potter and to Lord of the Rings, I'm not lying. Yes, I know those are very nostalgic and that's gonna piss off a lot of people. I'm not saying that it's better than those movies. I'm saying in terms of the visuals and the world building, it definitely does measure up. Personally, Harry Potter, in my opinion, is better because that's just my personal preference.
I'll be dead.
But Dune is giving me that sense of connection to a brand new world that was very creatively built. The architecture, even outside of Arrakis, on the other worlds is absolutely insane. It's something I've never seen with my own eyes. Ship designs and building designs are things I have never viewed with my own eyes. This is complete creativeness. They really take it to the next level. From the shape of the ships, which are these giant, like oval-like, weird, circular ships, especially the ones from House Harkonnen. The design of the helicopters. There are like wings that just flap. It works almost exactly the way a hummingbird's wings works. It's insane. Where the Fremen live, the caves they live in, how they survive, how they preserve the water, everything just makes sense for this world. House Harkonnen has some insane visuals. When they show their planet, it's black and white. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. The Harkonnen people are extremely scary people, extremely weird looking people. They operate weirdly. They're savage. They're brutal. They have no sense of morality. I really like how the director very much focused on realism. Yes, obviously it is a fictional world, so it's not gonna be as realistic as Earth, but it does stick to that realistic standpoint as to how these people are dying, what they use to survive. Everything is very realistic to the human body. Now, obviously, Paul Atreides is a whole different situation, and there's a lot of magic involved, a lot of kind of witchcraftish things going on. But in terms of the way people die, how they can die, how they survive, it is very much realistic, bro. Hans Zimmer did the craziest job I've ever seen when it comes to a soundtrack in a movie. I won't play it because I'll get copyrighted, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the main soundtrack. And it just gives you this feeling. It's like an alien, weird, dystopian feeling, but in the coolest way possible. The main Harry Potter theme makes you feel warm. It makes you feel comfortable. It gives you a little bit of nostalgia. This is different. It's an intense feeling. If that soundtrack wasn't the way it was, the movie would also feel differently. Paul Atreides, from the beginning, you are basically thrown into the fact that he is an important character. He is the important character.
Fashi, the boy doesn't know our rule. There's no yielding under the Amtal rule. Only death is the test of that.
With all these visions of the future he continuously keeps getting, we automatically figure out that he's some sort of important figure that has a very important future ahead of him. And it also translates into the relationship, and it's a constant foreshadowing into the relationship that he develops with a Fremen girl. We keep seeing her over and over in his visions, and we don't really find out who she is until a little bit later in the movie, near the ending of the movie. Now, House Harkonnen rule the planet Arrakis. They produce spice. It is the most valuable natural resource in the universe, and it was ruled by their leader, the giant, voluptuous, disgustingly fat guy that floats in the air. Now, this was some sort of a ploy, and it was kind of a deceiving situation. The Emperor was actually backstabbing House Atreides, and they were kind of getting set up, and uses the Baron to try to basically exterminate House Atreides. Spoiler alert, by the way, spoiler alert. Paul Atreides' dad dies. He dies. And Paul Atreides is left to rule himself. When this happens, everything collapses. He continuously keeps having these visions, as always. Meets up with the Fremen, and he aligns with every single prophecy that they have been waiting for. Part of the Fremen believe in the Messiah, and part of them don't. It's kind of like religion. The ones that do, they really are viewing Paul Atreides as their Messiah. He kind of starts realizing that he might be, but at the same time, he doesn't believe what his mother is saying. His mother is telling him that he is a part of the prophecy, but he believes that the prophecies were planted, fabricated prophecies, planted by the Bene Gesserit. Back to the pacing of the movie, this story is extremely patient. That's exactly why it succeeds. The director was very, very patient with the way he wanted to interpret the movie, and it worked. Every single point in this movie makes sense, and it has some sort of connection that you have to pay attention to. Part 1 feels like the start of something huge. Yes, you're left on a cliffhanger, but it's not like, oh, what was this movie? Why was it so slow paced? That is not what you ask yourself whatsoever. You finish the movie, and the first thing you think is, damn, I'm extremely excited for part 2. And when you're done part 2, you're thinking, I cannot wait for part 3. That goes to show how perfect the pacing of these movies is. Literally everything builds up to the next thing, and you're not left thinking, what was this? Paul Atreides ends up fully joining the Fremen. He becomes one of them.
You shall be known among us as Usul.
He starts claiming Arrakis as his own planet. He starts struggling with some sort of identity issue because he does not want to abuse his power, and he does not want to fulfill this very specific dream and vision he has. He keeps having a vision of a holy war happening, and the holy war bringing famine, death, and despair, basically, is what he continues seeing. Eventually, he realizes when he takes this poison that gives him a vision, it allows him to see the real future. He sees that it is inevitable. He has no choice but to start this holy war and lead and become emperor. The battles and the visuals in part 2 don't even compare to part 1. It is way better because, as I explained, part 1 was just a build up for part 2. This is one of the best action sequences in cinema history that I have ever in my life witnessed. The way they ride the worms, the sandworms, like there's some sort of fucking underground subway system or something. It is insane. It is beautiful. The fight scenes are beautiful. You may ask yourself, is Paul Atreides a hero? I know he is to the Fremen. I know he is to Arrakis because he basically freed them from the constant enslaving and having to bow down to all these other great houses. So in a way, yeah, in a sense, he is a hero. But knowing the prophecy and knowing that this holy war is going to bring famine, death, and hunger, we don't know yet. This could become kind of like an Eren Yeager type of story. Dune 3 is probably going to be one of the biggest box office sales of 2026. To conclude this video, together, Dune 1 and 2 create one of the best cinematography masterpieces of all time. I don't think anyone can argue that. One of the best works of art that we have witnessed within the past 15 years of cinema. It's extremely unique, creative. It's gonna be really hard to recreate something like this. I beg you, go watch this movie. This isn't just a sci-fi movie, it's the rise of one of the greatest or worst heroes that we will see in cinema ever. I love you guys. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.